Sorry, my phone overheated. So, where was I? I was at the piece where I was speaking on how, like, God, it felt like he was out to get me. And I was just really lonely, and everything was just falling from my grip, and I just felt like I was reaching out for something, but I was also pushing myself away. I didn't feel whole. I didn't feel one with the universe, with my creator, and that everything was okay. And I went really deep into that hole. So I ended up finally, like I was off and on with the girl, and just wasn't really good to her, and she wasn't really good to me. And well, she was good to me in her way. It was very codependent, and she decided to leave and go to Los Angeles, and just told me, like, how do you feel about me going to Los Angeles? I was like, no, like, you're not going, kind of thing. Like, that's fucked up. Why would you do that to me? Like, and then I had this, like, desire, like, I'll go with you. And I just remember, like, this was, like, after I graduated and everything, and I was living with my grandfather at the time. And she just up and left my ass, and I felt so alone in that moment. And like, later, like, went to see her a couple times in LA and San Diego. I had, like, a soccer combine out there. And then that was really it. She was very, like, I don't want to be with you. I don't really like you. When I went and saw, like, I flew out to Los Angeles to go see her, and she was very, like, against it, and but I heard something. She was very against it, and man. Yeah, like, and it was like a 3-day combine. Then I didn't, then she's, like, stopped talking to me after that. Like, it was just, like, dead talk, like, peace, dude. And then my sister told me she had another boyfriend. He kind of looked like me, and I was like, that's really weird. And yeah, I was, like, really, like, hurt by it at the time, and I just felt so alone. I felt like, how could you leave me? How could you deceive me? Yeah, so that's how that ended up. And then I remember going to Chicago, and with my old friend from high school, and we went to, like, this music festival, and we decided to eat some mushrooms, some psychedelic shroomies, and had a really bad time because I was in such a state of paranoia, panic, depression. It was funny. It was like, okay, like, here's some good feeling again, you know, you can feel a little bit. But I was also worried about my health at the time, because I had, like, eaten acid and went to, like, Longwood Gardens in Philly, which was, like, a flower show. And just in front of people, I'm, like, tripping my fucking ass off, like, freaking the fuck out, because my sensory, like, all of my senses got fucked. My cognitive, like, was fucked, because I was already, like, real low energy when I took the LSD. So it really affected me in, like, the worst of ways, and, like, I'm still, like, healing from this. Like, it was this traumatic experience to my body. Like, I wanted to die, really. And I, like, did whatever it took to take myself that down without death. I don't know how I didn't die. I'm still here. I was, like, having, like, a stroke. Like, my whole left side was out, and, like, my heart was racing, and or like I couldn't think. It was definitely like a mini stroke, if you want to call it that. Whatever. I didn't tell anyone. I just dealt with it while I was tripping and was around a couple people that weren't, and just trying to keep it cool, man. That's my best like quality, is like when life is fucked for me, like I'm so good at numbing out that like you don't even know, and I'm just like, death. Hey guys, how you doing? Ryan here. There's a lot of, yeah, that's really bad. So yeah, I guess I still am working through that numbness, because it's just become so natural, like that I have to feel numb. I think that I do. I choose to love myself here, just to feel my feelings. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so I called in my twin flame. I was like talking to my friend, and I'm just like sitting on a bus with him, like we're leaving like the show. And I'm like, yo, man, like I just really want a mermaid. And he's like, no, dude, no, it's not cool, man. I was like, no, like I really want a mermaid. Like I was like I just wanted her, you know, and I desired her in that moment, like. And a lot of time passed after that day. This is my brother Fabian's shirt, by the way. This is a meaningful shirt for this moment, just because he's my soul fan. Okay. So this was after I had met my twin. Actually, I met her once at this friend's cousin's house. And it was like, who are you? You know, I'm really interested in you, and I could see myself pursuing you, like, but I didn't have the confidence at the time, so I kind of was like beating around the bush on her, like, it doesn't sound right. I was going around the truth of how I felt, because I just wanted her to accept me and to be cool with her, like her to see me as like, oh, that's Ryan, cool guy. Yeah, so I was playing it cool, and she was just so open and like talking about her relationships or whatever, and like how they're just like not stable, and she can't really like just have a normal relationship with someone. And I'm just like, oh my god, like they're so lucky to talk to you, like you are everything I've ever dreamed of. And she's gorgeous, like, and she's just so sweet, like deep down, like somewhere in her heart, no, like she is the sweetest fucking person. And I manifested the opposite. But it's okay, because we are one, right? And that's how I felt about myself in a lot of ways. So she began, I don't even know what I'm saying here. She was living her own life after that meetup. And then I called her in as my twin flame. I went and saw her on her birthday at a like local bar, and I just remember like locking eyes and just like being really afraid of like taking that like initiative to like go deeper with the connection, because she was like just loved by everyone there, like at this bar, and it was her birthday, and she actually bought me a shot, I think, like me and my friend. And like by the end of the night, like he ended up kissing her, and it's like this big deal. And I was like, damn. And And then, like, as time went on, like, we ended up hanging out again. Like, just, like, mutual friend kind of thing. Like, later down the road. Like, months down the road. And, and then I ended up hanging out with her, like, on her birthday again. I ended up, like, going out and, like, chilling with her on her birthday, because it was, like, I guess a couple weeks before that I, like, saw her, like, out with an old friend. Just, like, I think she was celebrating because she had, like, some serious stuff she was dealing with. Whatever, we don't have to go into that. And I just, like, saw her, and she was, like, real flirty, and, like, add me on Snapchat, blah blah blah, I want to get to know you. And I'm just like, yes, you know, I'm in there like swimwear. And now I'm waking up. All right, so she pretty much told me that she wanted me. And I got her, like, Instagram info, and I remember, like, seeing her on Instagram and just being like jaw dropped, like, this is the sexiest woman I've ever seen in my life. And she had, like, pictures of her, like, dancing at a music festival, or, like, video, obviously, and I was like, oh my god. And she likes music, and she likes music festivals. Is she me? So then, after her birthday and everything, like, I was real, like, it was kind of like brother-sister type energy, like pushing her and poking at her just to get her attention, really. But it was, like, cute, you know? Because there was a lot of, like, love there, and you could just feel it. And she could feel it, and we both didn't, like, understand it at the time, but we both knew something was up for sure. So we started to, like, pursue the connection. Like, I started to talk to her on Snapchat every day, and then we talked about how, like, she's a Pisces and I'm a Libra, and like, how those mix, and how it's, like, this dream love, and blah 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 blah. And yeah, like, we hung out, and, like, she gave me, like, Reiki, and we had this, like, real connected, like, sexual experience. I remember, like, it was just like, wow, like, who are you, you know? And I was, like, headed to Germany in, like, 3 weeks, so I just, like, would spend, like, as much time as I could with her, and, like, make sure that I was hanging out at this person's house, because she would, like, show up there a lot. We started going out to the bars and, like, really, like, hitting it off, like, real quick, like, hey, like, and I had a lot of, like, psychological issues at the time that I was, like, suppressing, so I was, like, a little numbed out. But, like, we would go drink, and then we would, like, share our emotions by just kissing all night in front of everyone. And it was just, like, so fucking beautiful, really, to think about, because there was no, like, there is no guard with us. Like, it was just always, like, I love you, you know? Just working through some upsets. And yeah, like, man, I have so much fear around loving her, because it just feels like it's just been so opposite of that, like, recently, like, but it's really not, you know. It's everything that I've dreamed of. To this part of me that wants to feel sad. What does he need to feel love here?